Bucket naked.
Please hit the gym. Please hit the gym, and the pH needs to be balanced as well.
I've been drinking. Can't keep your eyes up right now.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? How y'all doing? Welcome back to JLerone Presents. I am your host, JLerone. Listen, I know you guys probably been paying attention to the little back and forth going on Corey Holcomb show, and how I think Corey did a video not too long ago, like a little skit making fun of Shannon Sharpe, and he used Chad from YouKnowMaacus to play Shannon Sharpe's, I guess, stylist. What was his name? Hollywood. And somehow Marcus didn't know about it. He found out later on his show that Chad had went over there and did this skit. Now, Marcus felt some type of way about that, and I get how he would, you know what I mean, with everything that Corey said about Marcus and the beef, and what Corey said about Marcus' mom as well, right? So Marcus felt a certain type of way about Chad going on to Corey over there and doing that little skit. And it plays a big part also. It makes you think about the contradictions that Corey be saying, because Corey always talk about how Hollywood uses black men and try to emasculate black men by having them playing gay roles and stuff like that, right? But for Corey to go and do the same thing with Chad, right? He enlisted Chad to come over and do a video to where Chad plays Hollywood, which is supposedly a gay stylist that, you know, Shannon Sharpe used to have hanging around him and going to basketball games with. So, yeah. So, in this episode of YouKnowMaacus, him and Chad discusses that, right? And it's like Chad really didn't get, or Chad didn't understand. I don't know if he was doing it on purpose or he just didn't really understand where Marcus was coming from when it came to, you know, loyalty and, you know, things like that. Because the way I see it, even though I don't know if Chad and Marcus are actually cousins by blood or if they just real close, you know what I mean? So when you have somebody like, especially when he says that, because Chad says that Marcus and them is like family, he thinks of Miss Jonay as his mom, things like that. So my thing is, even though Chad is grown and he can do what he want to do, the fact that when somebody talks like that about somebody's mom, because the way Corey went at Marcus' mom, you know, he talked about her as like, you know, he said the only reason why I hung around Marcus was because I wanted to get with Miss Jonay. So he was very disrespectful to Miss Jonay, which is Marcus' mom, right? And if Chad is real close to the family or in the family and he feels like Miss Jonay is a mother figure towards him, why wouldn't that upset Chad as well, right? Even though Corey and Marcus supposedly made up and made things better, still the fact remains Corey disrespected, you know, his mom in public, right? But never gave a public apology for disrespecting Miss Jonay. Corey has never done that. So if Miss Jonay is somebody that Chad looks up to as a mother figure, why wouldn't he be upset? And you know what I'm saying? Why would he still go on the show and do, you know, a skit like that for Corey? You know what I mean? It's kind of like this woman supposed to be somebody you consider family and a mother figure. She was disrespected by this man. Why would you, slide over and do this skit and still don't tell nobody about it? Because they didn't find out about it till Marcus didn't find out about it till he went live, like 2 days after, or the day after Corey released the video. This was crazy. But let's go ahead and get into the back and forth that but Marcus and Chad had on the show last week. And yeah, man, let's listen to what Chad had to say, because it sounded like Chad was being kind of disingenuous, like he didn't really know what was being said, and it was kind of awkward. So let's go ahead and take a listen to it, you guys. If you haven't, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe, share. That helps the channel grow. All right, and let's go ahead and get into it.
Go ahead.
What?
Nothing.
What'd you say?
Nothing. I'm gonna keep the same energy.
Go. You were saying something. Go ahead. You feel what you saying?
No, I mean, I just want to address a couple of things because I'm not fake. But, that kind of just threw me for a loop with Chad. And I'm gonna hope y'all too, as we all are family. You guys are definitely family. So you guys were able to be here together.
Yeah.
And y'all was able to talk.
Turn your mic on.
But, yeah, because I felt like, as y'all as being brothers, because the way Marcus felt, I could tell he was hurt from just watching that. I was like, damn, y'all niggas just go ahead and just duke that shit out, hug it out, and move on. You know what I'm saying? Because, that's just, no matter how much people want to spin the narrative and make it seem like, okay, we are against each other, because I'm always talk shit to you, Chad. You in my class, you my nigga, we clown. We started comedy at the same time, so we can do that with each other because we in the same class. But
that was gonna happen either way. You could have been in special ed. I'm still gonna talk my shit.
Right. So but that right there, I don't know. For me, just kind of like touch on a little bit on what I said and before, like when he did a video about a month ago, and in the comments, in our group chat that we have with a lot of the comics in LA area, it was brought out like, hey, we need some people to come do Corey's music video. And as I'm like, damn, you gotta come. I'm like, I can't come to that. You know what I mean? As much as I'm not involved in the beef because that's between those two men.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's just kind of like I sit on this couch with you guys. You know what I mean? I've been here a few times, more than maybe 5 times, and for me, it's just it's just kind of like that wouldn't look right with you guys or with the family, because first of all, these people watch this nigga show, watch his show. It's the same fans. They watch 5150, they jump on mainstream, and they watch what's going on over here. So I just felt like, I didn't want to put myself in that situation, because these folks is going to tear your ass up and talk about you real bad. And I know that would just look kind of like, doesn't look right in the light. But for whatever reason, you are a grown man. You're going to do what you want to do, but it definitely was, heartbreaking to see you do something. That was just it, because I just know this is you can do what you want to do, but you didn't let him know before the world got a chance to tell him. You know what I'm saying? I felt like that was where it was messed up, that you should have said, hey, let me tell you, big bro, or partner, cousin, brother, whatever, however y'all may dress each other. Yo, I did this. I'm just letting you know before you hear about it, because this is what I'm doing, or this is what I've done. You know what I mean? And that's that. But other than that, I'm glad we all still here. And we here.
So for me personally, I don't know what the how intense things are.
The dynamics between them, right? Right.
He introduced me to Corey when I got out here, and they had their bond or whatever. And I know how we felt about him growing up, watching them growing up and stuff like that.
Right.
So I kind of just always looked at it like they are friends who ain't seeing eye to eye right now.
I can definitely see how you see that. Okay.
I am, to me, because I don't really take the time to fall out with people. I try to, guard myself in a way to where things can stay wholesome, fun, and positive. You know, I feel like if I'm giving you something I can't afford to lose, you can't have it.
Okay.
You know,
Right.
So when I got the call to do the skit, I'm like, this ain't up my alley. It's not something I care about. But at the same time, it's not something that I feel like tarnishes who I am.
Okay.
So,
Right.
You know, when you see my comedy on my page, it looks a certain way. So you never see me like doing those type of jokes because I haven't found a perspective of it that's uniquely funny to me. But it's not like I wouldn't do a gay joke on my page. I just haven't seen nothing or came across something that's personally uniquely funny for me to want to push that.
Right. Okay.
So when I was asked to do it, I was like, yeah, shit, I don't care. You know what I'm saying? I know who I am, and I'm definitely confident and cool with who I am. So if it was used to stir the pot between him and Marcus, that's something that I wouldn't have wanted to be a part of. And I didn't know that was a possibility, you know.
But you got to realize you're dealing with Corey Holcomb. You know, I mean, with everything that's happened, I think it's been almost a year since they went back and forth with the broken wrist thing. But yeah, so it's like you got to think about that in the back of your head. These guys had some type of rift between them. He's wanting you to do this skit. He wants you to play a gay role in which he's been lately going back and forth, you know, on this gay thing with Godfrey, Comedy Hype, and other people, right? So, and then he asked you to play a gay role, which something Chad said he never thought about doing, but he did it anyway. I mean, come on, man. You got to think that this Corey could be trying to set something up, right? To try to use this maybe against you, maybe use this to get back at Marcus and say, hey, your people ain't loyal. I got, you know, your boy Chad over here doing this video for me. You know, Corey could spin it any kind of way. So you got to be mindful of that.
So you're saying you didn't really think it through? Is that? I feel like you're saying you didn't really think it through because I mean, for me, if someone, my friend or whoever, if I'm close with y'all and you beefing with somebody and I really don't got a problem with that person, that's really between y'all two. You know what I mean? I still would want to like not want my close partner that I break bread with to feel any kind of way. So I would just stay back. You know what I mean? That's just me. My opinion on how I move. You know what I mean? Everybody's different. I'm just assuming or hearing that you just didn't think it through. Like you didn't think it would be it'll be offensive to him.
It just wouldn't have been.
It's not a problem if you want to dress and act gay. Nobody give a fuck about that. It was more of the premise of you didn't pull your partner aside and say, yo, they asked me to do this shit and I'm gonna go do this shit. It ain't really what I want to do with my forte, but you know, it's good exposure, just something to do.
Shit, it wasn't none of that. Shit, I was just doing the favor. Like, I didn't even know Corey was involved until we shot it.
Okay.
So I went on the strength of the homegirl.
Okay.
And, you know, I'd already signed up to do it, so I was like, yeah, shit, I don't care. You know, I don't.
Okay.
As I'm saying, like, I ain't, you know,
Right.
associated to have anything to do with Cuzzo.
Okay.
At this point, you know, I done had my own conversations with Cole. I talk to him on my own whenever I do. I don't reach out a lot. I don't reach out to nobody a lot. So in my mind, I'm like, these things are separate.
Right. But once you did find out that this is Corey's video, you found out when? Tuesday night when it dropped?
No, right before we shot it. So I pulled up and
Right.
talking about it, and
once you realize, okay, this is gonna be for Corey's show.
and Corey was
Okay.
like, oh, it's for the song. Woo,
Right.
woo. I'm like, oh, okay.
Nothing dawned on you to say, hey, dog, let me get on my phone. Hey, this nigga got me doing this video. Just let you know I'm doing this video. Oh, I did the video. Hey, man, I just shot this video. I didn't even really know it was going to be for that nigga, but I did that shit. I'm just letting you know because it's going to be on there, I'm pretty sure, on Tuesday. And so I don't need you to be finding out on Wednesday when you go live on your show and be
that's
like,
what
yeah,
happened.
and be like, oh, you know, by the way, you know I did this video, right? Like, what video? feel. So I mean, that's
it
all.
wasn't that big to me.
I know, but you know how this man feel. I mean, hell, the world kind of know how this man feel. You know what I mean? And they don't sit on the couch with this man all the time and come and see this man and kick it with this man, you know, and then fly from another state to another state to be in this place. And come on.
Let me speak.
Everybody.
You know, last week, y'all.
And this chick, I think her name Dominique, she made some good points because she's pretty much saying what everybody else is thinking. Like, you know, him and Corey got this little thing between them. You've seen it. I mean, anybody who watched this show and watched 5150, I mean, you can't be oblivious to what's going on between him and Corey or what happened between him and Corey. So to have that, you know, like you didn't even realize that this could be something that, you know, could upset your boy. Now, I understand if you went ahead and did it, you still could have pulled, like she said, pulled his coattail and say, hey, I just did this video. It's going to drop. You know, I'm just letting you know ahead of time. You know what I'm saying? Bam, 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 or whatever. Or he could have just, like old girl said, he could have called him up when he found out that it was a Corey video and said, hey, Marcus, you know, Corey want me to do this video. You know, what do you think? Or whatever. You know, even if Chad went ahead and did it, he still could have let Marcus know ahead of time, give him a heads up, instead of him being blindsided by it. Because, you know, like this Dominique was saying, everybody who watched 5150 and Marcus know what's going on between him and Corey, and that, you know, it could be perceived a certain type of way.
Seen it in real time when I found out about it. And, you know, of course I laughed at it because I didn't even really, you know, it really caught me off guard because it was out of character for you. I mean, it don't even go with your brand or nothing. So it was, you know, first off, it was just strange for me that you even agreed to do that character, and then the fact that, you know, you ain't tap in with me when you tapped in with me before just to check the temperature. It ain't even necessarily you a grown man. You ain't gotta tap in with me about nothing. But if it's an issue I had with somebody, you know what I'm saying, then of course, you know, I would have. Because anybody, it's always a possibility that somebody could be playing on, like if vice versa situation, that they could be playing on me. And I'm always be thinking about that, like, well, they did have words before. They did have an issue before. I did meet this person through them, so I don't want to be caught in the middle of no shit like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's why I feel like you called me the first time about the one situation. And so, of course, I sat on it. Nigga, I couldn't talk to you all week because I know if I talked to you, I was going to go off. Me and Dominique went live and everything. I had to take the live down because in the process of the live, I started off cool because I wasn't even finna, but I couldn't hold back. You know how I am. You know, if I feel some way, I'm going to express it. And the timeline of me doing that interview and then that coming up after I just did, you know what I'm saying, just left from doing the special, and then coincidentally you the nigga to call to do some weird shit.
Yeah, that's right. Marcus just dropped the special too. Marcus did. He just dropped the comedy special, and and that's why you gotta think about that, cause Corey is. Y'all gotta realize the shit that Corey do, and for this to happen, like he said, right after he dropped that special, and then all of a sudden Corey calls up Chad to do this. You gotta think about shit like that. Why is he doing this? Why is he reaching out now? You know what I mean? It's crazy.
It was like, that was kind of obvious. You know what I mean? And I hear you. I hear you on that. Like, oh no, I ain't know this. I ain't know that. But you recognized it last time. That's why that really don't be, you know. And I that's why I say I hear what you're saying, but that was a possibility in your head that, like, man, let me call this nigga. But you just kind of, I feel like you dismissed that thought. He was like, I mean, I'm just gonna go on and do this, man. Ain't worry about that. Ain't got nothing to do with me.
Shit,
You know what I mean?
I can honestly say, shit, I'm under the perception that you and Corey finna go back to back, do y'all thing. Y'all might be cool, y'all might be okay, y'all might squash shit. Who knows how long that ride is gonna go on? So when I tell you it wasn't that important to me, it wasn't that big to me, it literally didn't cross my mind as some value. Me calling you the first time, cause it's like I've never known y'all to have issues. So that's
What you mean?
one thing.
You was on the couch with me when we was going back and forth last year. When he took Abe and he had Abe to go over there to take the cameras from us. Remember, he fucked us up. He had Abe to come take the cameras from us.
Damn sure did.
And Abe left and acted oblivious, like he didn't know what the fuck going on. That's why our son here now.
Yeah.
I mean, you was there for the whole spat. It ain't like you wasn't there for all the things that happened.
When the last time you invited me on the show, I called and tapped in with you to see what the temperature was. But y'all since been back and forth, whether good or bad.
Right. And since they've been
So
back
it's
and
not
forth,
like this is.
and since they've been back and forth since then, why wouldn't you think, okay, well, Marcus just dropped this special, Corey wants me to do this video? Come on, man. You got to think sometimes. Didn't say you shouldn't have done the video, but you could at least, gave Marcus a heads up of what was coming.
Something that's ending with you and you're not at war with this man to the point to where I'm thinking like you seriously care about this thing you're going through with him. It doesn't seem like it should be that big. However, because I ain't never had these type of falling outs in my adult life. So
Got to do better.
Can I say?
I was like Mortal Kombat ass. Get over here. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Go ahead. Finish.
Well, I mean, I like I said, I couldn't talk to you all week because family was calling me. Everybody wanted, man, what the fuck, Ryan, man, what the fuck he doing, man? Why is he? And their biggest concern was you doing that and you ain't seen me talk to him in a long time. You ain't seen me talk to him in months. So obviously it was some type of riff right there. So that's the way they perceived it. And then of course our family like, man, why the fuck he popping in the chair? I could cut that shit off. Like, of course they ain't trying to hear that shit. Like, as far as that, it's like emasculating yourself for entertainment. We just, we move different when it comes to that. Just as the family. And then the fact that person that you did it for always, matter of fact, they having a problem, he having a back and forth with somebody right now because they played a character like that, you know what I'm saying? Which I'm not, they business is they business, but
Right.
He's literally clowning that person for playing a character like that, and then did you as a character like that. So
And the thing with Godfrey just played the character's name. It was a play on the name. The name was Gaiman. But if y'all watch Soul Plane, Gaiman he wasn't gay. That was just the name. You know what I'm saying? It was stupid. It was a play on the name. That's basically what it was. It was a play on the name. And because if you look at the movie, his character, Godfrey's character as Gaiman, wasn't gay. That was just his name, which was, like I said, it was a funny play on the name. That's all it was.
The irony in that is crazy. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But I called him yesterday first, and then I called you yesterday. You know what I mean? I called him because we had a long conversation. Man, I talked to that man about 2 hours. You know what I mean? Just cause I had to get an understanding because, like I said, I couldn't talk to nobody for the whole week because I had to calm down, bro. Like, at the end of the day, we had a very heated situation at one point, and it got to a crazy point. Like, niggas always, man, this comedy, nigga, we people, dog. It don't matter if we comedians or not, bro. If a motherfucker get to a point where we go back and forth and we go to a point where we say some shit, some crazy shit to each other, like I'm gonna do something to you type shit, then I don't give a fuck if we comics or not. A motherfucker can get something done to your ass. People always try to dismiss shit. Oh, man, you ain't in the streets, man, nigga. Oh.
Yeah, and like I say, people take shit too far in under the name of, oh, it's just jokes. Oh, it's comedy. Like you said, Corey always talking about people making jokes, and then once he takes it too far, he always says, oh man, it's comedy. I'm just making jokes. So yeah, some things you can take too far under the name of comedy. You know what I mean? Now, like I said, a lot of the shit they do is funny on both ends. Marcus' side, Corey's side, they come up with some funny ass jokes and skits. But yeah, there is a time where you can take that shit too far. And this is like one of them times where Marcus was talking about sometimes shit goes too far and you can't just say, oh, these are just jokes.
I don't want to hear none of that shit, bro. Once it get to that point, bro, it don't matter who you are, bro. Literally, you looking at Diddy done did all kinds of wild shit to motherfuckers. He done blew motherfuckers' cars up and shit. You would have never. That's a dancing nigga right there. Like people always, like stop acting slow, bro.
Fucking them Stacey Lattisaw videos,
slow, bro. You know what I mean? But I mean, we talked about it. I just want you to understand though, like. Ain't no issue. We because we done went through this. We done discussed this, me and you. But I just want you to be mindful of the things you do in this game, man. Especially you trying to blow up, man. Because if you set the tone for your career. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean. And if that ain't nothing you want to do, it ain't. Sometimes people. That's all people gonna see you as. Especially in the beginning. That's what you start as. Yeah. You know what I mean. If that motherfucker, that's the dude that was popping in the video. That's the dude that. So always be mindful of the things you do if you don't care to do it. And plus, you said you would play like that, right? I ain't never seen you play like that. You said you would play like that, but with no issue, like on some joking shit. Mm-hmm. Now. You was locked up for a couple years. Mm-hmm. Did you ever do it in there?
Like make fun of a gay person?
Yeah, play gay or some shit like that.
I mean, possibly. Yeah, I don't know.
What?
It's possible that I cracked some jokes. I don't know.
You did some flamboyant shit in there?
Well, you saw that nigga was a professional.
Well, the thing is, that's like a yes or no. That's yes. You know what I'm saying? It's not like I possibly was in jail. And I made some jokes or I acted flamboyant in jail. You know what I mean? Now, if you crack some gay jokes, I mean, you still know, right? If you did some flamboyant shit, it ain't it was possible. I don't think that's either a yes or no answer. Either you did some gay shit in jail or you didn't. I mean, either you made gay jokes or you acted flamboyant in jail. Either you did or you didn't. You know what I mean? I hated that answer. I hated the way Chad answered that, cause it's like, how can you say possibly? You in jail. You don't know if you made or acted gay. You know what I mean? If you made some gay jokes, you don't know, or if you acted gay, or like Marcus said, if you acted flamboyant in jail, you don't know. That's like you would know. It's either yes or no answer to that, instead of possibly.
Don't do that. No, you ain't.
Well, first thing I want to address out of everything you just said, if Corey take the opportunity to try and play with my name for me doing a favor for him, then that's just one more person that he can't call again. That's all that is to me. It's not no major loss to me.
Well, you've seen that before.
Well, that's all I'm saying. That's just him losing somebody that he can call on. So I
don't think he care about that.
Yeah,
I was definitely a nigga to call on.
So that's what I'm saying. So if that's what he chooses to do with that, then shit, have at it. But who I am and what I do,
that's a stain on your name now, Chad.
For is solid for anybody who has ever called on me, and for anybody who feels like that's in jeopardy or that ain't solid, that I ain't solid, I ain't a solid person to depend on and call on, well, shit, that's a personal choice that they making. Cause I don't never play with nobody, I don't never cross nobody, I don't never fuck nobody over. So all of this shit is extremely beneath me, but I am acknowledging that people have feelings about these things. And in my personal opinion, it's a choice to be bothered by, you know, whatever people choose to be bothered by. Things that don't have a direct bearing on your life and your health and where you're headed in life, your direction and shit like that. These things don't register to me as things to focus on. So I'm acknowledging what you're saying, and if I ever notice a rift between somebody you introduced me to, now I have to be conscious of, well, let me see if Marcus gonna feel some type of way about this. But as I said to you on the phone,
I definitely
Absolutely.
but as I said, I ain't interrupting nobody.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
But as I said to you on the phone, like, you'll never have that concern with me.
Yeah.
Like, there ain't nobody, there ain't no situation, there ain't no opportunity for you to be used to make me feel some type of way. I wouldn't allow that to be a thing. I fuck with you in a way to where if you were doing something with somebody else, it must not be my business, or it must be too small for me to be putting that type of attention into.
Yeah, but you can't dismiss the possibility of somebody actually doing something to you, though.
I mean, you can't present a scenario
What you mean?
of where I would need to feel this type of way with you dealing with somebody that I know.
What? I'm saying you can't dismiss the possibility of that person using you and the other person being unaware and them using you to harm that other person.
You saying him using me to harm you?
Yes.
Yeah.
You can't dismiss that possibility. You can never dismiss that.
You created the scenario of him asking me where you are.
Chad.
That's the scenario you created. You asked me, well, what if he asked me where you are? And I'm like, I just tell him to call you. Like, I don't see like, oh, he at the Laugh Factory tonight. I suppose I could say that, but it's like, that is such a odd scenario for this particular situation. He uses me to track down your location to bring harm to you. I think if y'all beef is that serious, that's something that you should have personally told me. Nigga, I see you every day. Like, oh, nigga, it's on site with us.
I should personally tell you some shit that happened in public?
What that happened in public? That y'all are ready to do something to each other? I've not known that y'all let it go there. The last I heard, you had his back when he went through the thing with the slapping the shorty, and you kind of calmed him down and got him out the way. I didn't know y'all went to beefing after that.
That's what I'm saying. You didn't know anything, right?
Yes, this is what I'm saying. So to me, it sounds like y'all all right.
Okay, yes, but you didn't know. That's the point, right? So if I don't know, then I'm gonna check the temperature, because anything could happen in between here and there if somebody then already had an issue with each other.
Well, the thing is, some things you can't go back from when people. It's some things people do to you or say to you or disrespect your mama or whatever. It's something you just can't go back. You can't go back. Because my thing is, what come out of your mouth is it once it enter the ear gates, it can't come back out.
Y'all notice how when Miss Jonay is talking to Chad, he don't even look at her. First thing he did, I guess he was looking at the chat because he turned away, and now he's looking down. But he never really he never looks at her while she's talking.
Yeah.
And my thing is, the whole thing about this whole thing is to separate family. That's what it's all about. You know, trying to put a wedge between you and Big Man, because people see the closeness, people see the bond we all have. So that's the purpose, to put a wedge between us.
See how he
They
looking
couldn't
off.
do it with me and Big Man. Now they're trying to do it with you. You might not can see it, but that's what's going on.
Well, but it can't be a thing with me. Like I have to take part in that.
You did.
You did.
Yeah.
We literally
Take part
no.
You literally
take
did.
part in saying we have a problem. If
You
you
do
say you
realize-
have a problem with me, that's going to be one-sided.
Is this your
You
partner?
do realize-
Is she your auntie? This your family right
Yeah,
here?
my bad. She like.
So if somebody say something about her, that ain't gonna bother you.
why wouldn't it bother me?
Okay. So if this man has said something about this woman right here, and you feel like this, I love her, like this family, it's my second mom.
Yeah.
You can't disrespect my mama, my people, and
Right.
think I'm gonna be cool with you
That's what the family
later on. Like, oh, we
Right, that's what I was saying earlier. Cause Corey went out his way to say that the only reason he was messing with Marcus was because he wanted to get with Marcus' mom, Miss Jonay. Like, that's totally disrespectful, and that alone would make somebody be like, "Nah, I ain't fucking with you." You know what I mean? It should, since that's family.
later on. What?
That's what the
Nigga, you
family
gonna
was
have to
saying.
talk to me.
family was saying,
Whatever's
family
going on with
over
y'all too,
everything.
but I'm offended at what you said about her. I'm offended because this someone is a second mother to you, so you would be offended if somebody just told the world some bullshit.
Yep.
How you think she may feel? Like, damn, you know who got my back?
She know it'll never be a question of me having her back or not. So it's like
She don't know that.
I'd like to think she knew.
Well, we got a family over everything, no matter what. And if this man, mama was disrespected, and you got a wind of that, hey, my nigga, if that's your enemy, nigga, that's my enemy too, nigga. Fuck that nigga. But I'm from LA, so I'm a little different.
And and let me get this straight. I don't hate Corey or no shit like that. I'm just
much respect to Corey. I don't want to throw that narrative out there on you or anybody on this platform for saying fuck Corey, because Corey is a very talented man. He is great at what he does, and we're not going to take that away from that man. But what we're saying is just that when they were beefing in that heavy part of their relationship, that it's just you ain't heard that it was squashed or it was apologized, like, hey, my fault for disrespecting y'all moms over there. So I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm out of pocket. So, I'm gonna sit my country ass down. Okay, I'm gonna sit my ass down and shut the fuck up. 'Cause, I don't know.
And it's not
It's okay to voice your opinion.
no, it's not about Corey, bro. It's not about Corey. It's just,
No,
it's
it's
just
not.
like-
It's far from Corey.
It's just,
about how a person moves.
it's just your out of respect for your people, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, just because you will move a certain way, Chad, you got to still take accountability of the people around you. You can't move selfishly like that. You know what I mean? I get it. Oh, I that's how I would do it. But other people, I don't feel that way, bro. I promise I don't feel that way. Like you saying it, no, he can't do this, he can't do that. But you don't know what a motherfucker can do. It's plenty of scenarios that things can happen, bro, that a motherfucker can use you. You know what I mean? Like it could have been a back and forth now. It could have been, we could have took this shit and me and Corey could have had a back and forth. He could have came on the, you know what I'm saying, talk shit, and then it would all stem from you accepting or going and dealing with. I just need the solidarity of us. You know what I'm saying? Like it shouldn't be no chink in my arm over here.
Yep, and that's the thing. Corey can actually say you got a chink in your armor. That part right there. That's what you got to worry about with Corey, because you never know how he's going to twist shit up and try to run with a different narrative. Because, like I said before, Corey can easily say, your people ain't loyal. Corey big on loyalty too, right? Because he had an issue with Godfrey not, I guess, checking Akeem when Akeem made a joke about Corey. You know what I'm saying? So Corey felt like since him and Godfrey were friends, Godfrey should have stood up and told Akeem, his guest co-host, not to say anything about him. You know what I mean? So in this one, Corey could come back at Marcus and say, hey, your boy Chad ain't loyal. You know what I'm saying? He could throw anything at it now. He could say, he could say Chad is, kind of a suspect because Chad did this gay role in his skit. You know what I mean? He could go at that. He could say, Marcus, you got a fruit booty over there with you. You know, Corey could go at it at any way he want to. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be careful of people like that. Like I said, I ain't saying nothing about Corey as being a comedian. He's good. He's talented, like they said. But as a person, and we all are flawed, and you know what I'm saying, we all do hypocritical shit. You know what I'm saying? We all ain't always, you know, we don't always do the right thing or the you know what I'm saying, or the best thing all the time. So, you know, hey, it is what it is. Sometimes we do some bullshit, and we see a lot of times Corey do contradict himself. Right? Corey talks about, you know, being in your emotions. Corey's always in his emotions. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the things Corey do is predicated on him being over emotional, but then he comes out and tell you you shouldn't be over emotional. That's a female trait, which it is, but Corey does a lot of things out of emotion. So when you say, you know, like I said, it ain't about him being a good comedian. It's just about Corey's, you know, character. Corey's character is flawed, like a lot of us, right? So, but Marcus makes a good point about you know, family and things like that, because when somebody goes in on your family, especially Miss Jonay, who ain't got nothing to do with nothing, you know what I'm saying, with what's going on in the realm of comedy with Marcus and Corey, you know what I'm saying, she ain't had shit to do with that, with them going back and forth with the broken wrist, when Marcus joked about Corey's breaking his wrist. So for Corey to be in his emotions and come at Marcus, they were supposed to be like, it's supposed to have been jokes, back and forth jokes. You know, Corey make it personal. Marcus would just clown Corey. Then Corey come back, make it personal again. Marcus would just throw more jokes at Corey, right? With Marcus, it was never personal. Corey always made it personal. And then he went in on, like I said, on Miss Jonay, saying that, you know, talked about sleeping with her, and the only reason he was with Marcus because he wanted to smash. The only reason he had Marcus around because he wanted to smash Miss Jonay. Like I said, that was totally disrespectful. And at this point, I don't think I don't blame. I can understand Marcus being cool with Corey, but as far as just get together on some business type shit, I don't think he probably would, because, you know, because of that, because of how he disrespected his mom. And like I said, Corey disrespected Marcus' mom in public. On his platform, right? Still haven't heard Corey apologize for that. So in that instance, that lets you know right there, this man still hasn't apologized for disrespecting Marcus's mom. Not on a public. Now, if he did it in private, maybe, I don't know, but he hasn't came on his show in public. Like I said, motherfuckers always disrespect you in public. But when they issue a retraction or an apology, they never do that in public. That's, for some reason, that's behind the scene. It's like a newspaper reporter. They'll print something, front page. It'll be a lie, front page. But when they retract it, the retraction is always on page 6. You know what I'm saying? The lie is always up front. But when they retract a lie or something they said that wasn't, you know what I'm saying, when they retract it, it's always in the back. You know, you got to flip. You got to go search for the retraction. You know what I'm saying? You got to research. You got to go search for the retraction. The retraction never makes front page. So, you know, like I said, if Corey really means, you know, to be a stand-up guy like he say he is, he should, you know, apologize to Miss Jonay in public, like he, you know, said everything he said about her in public. He should, you know, apologize in public, but he hasn't done that yet. So, like I said, I don't blame Marcus. I don't blame Marcus for being upset with Chad. And then again, Chad also has to realize that, you know, people will do stuff to try to throw a wedge in between you and somebody else. You know, and Corey definitely could be doing that as well. You got to think about stuff like that. You know, like I said, if playing a gay role is something that you never thought about doing, it's not on your platform, why would you do it now with a man who who says he don't like the way Hollywood emasculates black men, but then he goes and does it? And then Corey's a guy who has this beef, you know, who, you know what I'm saying, him and Marcus got this thing going back. I mean, it's stupid. For Chad to just do that, to me, it didn't make any sense. But that's my opinion. All right. But you guys, let me know what y'all think about it down below in the comments. All right. Like, subscribe, share if you haven't. That helps the channel grow. You guys, please be good to yourselves by all means. Let's be good to one another. And I will catch you in the next one. Peace.
Bucket naked.
Please hit the gym. Please hit the gym, and the pH needs to be balanced as well.
I've been drinking. Can't keep your eyes